Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So, am I audible? कोई मेरे को मैसेज करके बता सकता है कि am I audible or? So once I confirm that I am audible, then we'll start. तो मेरे को मैसेज नहीं मिल रहा है तो इट्स वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट टू फाइंड आउट. थोड़ी देर हम वेट कर लेते हैं. Okay, thank you. So I got a message that I am audible. So let's wait for a few more minutes so that people can join. क्योंकि अभी exactly let's wait for a few more minutes so that once the people join, then we can start with introduction and then I'll brief about the today's introduction, how will go about किस किस heading या किस किस topics किस किस lines पे हम बात करेंगे. तो एक बार कुछ लोग और जुड़ जाएं, फिर हम शुरू करते हैं. व्यूअरशिप थोड़ी बढ़ जाए, then we can start. At least 20-25 people, if they join, then we can start safely, so that the more people will keep joining. लोग आ नहीं रहे अभी भी ना. आंकड़ा 7 पे आके रुका. ओके, इट्स नाउ 8, सो आई एम काउंटिंग. Okay, Pallavi has messaged that there are lots of noise disturbances from your background. Okay, Pallavi, I'll see. Just I'll handle that. Maybe because of fan. Okay, so hi Pallavi, hope it's better now. Okay, I'm not at my usual place, so probably that is the reason that there is a very okay, so good afternoon, good evening everybody. Let's start the session, then let the people keep coming and join. So नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं डॉक्टर आर के चौधरी और फॉर्म ले लो के फेसबुक लाइव पेज पे आप सब लोगों का स्वागत है. I'll start from my introduction and I'll keep the things in a mix. I'll start, slowly बीच बीच में मेरे ख्याल से रुकता जा रहा है. होल्ड कैसे. हाय नमस्कार दोस्तों, कोई मैसेज करके अभी बता देगा कि एम आई ऑडिबल और नॉट, प्लीज़. तो जितने भी लोग जुड़े हैं उसमें से कोई भी एक मैसेज डाल दें. ओके, थैंक यू योगिता हैज टोल्ड के यू आर ऑडिबल. ओके, सो गुड इवनिंग वंस अगेन. आई एम डॉक्टर आर के चौधरी एंड फेसबुक फॉर्म ले लो कि फेसबुक पेज पे आप सब लोगों का स्वागत है. और आज हम बात करेंगे कैंसर के बारे में. कैंसर के बारे में बात करने की क्या ज़रूरत है, क्यों ज़रूरत है और क्या क्या बात करेंगे उसके बारे में मैं ब्रीफली रूपरेखा पहले बताऊंगा. इन द बिगिनिंग आई विल टेल द व्हाट विल बी द आउटसेट ऑफ द टोटल टॉक. एंड बिफोर दैट आई वुड लाइक टू इंट्रोड्यूस माई सेल्फ. आई एम डॉक्टर आर के चौधरी. आई एम मेडिकल oncologist एंड आई एम एसोसिएटेड विथ मेट्रो ग्रुप ऑफ हॉस्पिटल्स दिल्ली एंड नोएडा. मेडिकल ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट में कैंसर का जो मेडिकल ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट है वो कीमोथेरेपी होता है, कीमोथेरेपी के बारे में एक्सपर्ट होते हैं. सो इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द कैंसर ट्रीटमेंट, तो कैंसर ट्रीटमेंट में 3 लोग इन्वॉल्व होते हैं. वन इज कैंसर सर्जन, जो कैंसर की सर्जरी के बारे में बात करते हैं या सर्जरी का इलाज करते हैं. दूसरा होता है रेडिएशन ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट, जो रेडियोथेरेपी के एक्सपर्ट होते हैं. एंड थर्ड होते हैं मेडिकल ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट, जो फिजिशियन वाला पार्ट देखते हैं. So basically I am a cancer physician and exact terminology in medicine is medical oncologist. So I do chemotherapy, target therapy, immunotherapy in every kind of cancers. So कैंसर के बारे में बात करने की वजह ये है कि पिछले कुछ सालों से हम देख रहे हैं कि कैंसर के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा रिसर्च हुई और रिसर्च होने के बाद में भी रिजल्ट में इतना अच्छा फ़ायदा नहीं हुआ जितना हमें एक्सपेक्टेड था या जितना हमें उम्मीद थी. और इसकी सबसे बड़ी या एकमात्र वजह यह है कि पब्लिक का अनअवेयर होना. सो पॉपुलेशन एट लार्ज इज लार्जली अनअवेयर अबाउट द कैंसर, इट्स सिम्टम, इट्स डायग्नोस्टिक मेथड्स, its treatment modality, and there are various type of myths are prevailing among the general population. So we'll talk about those things also. So मैं बात फॉलोइंग हेडिंग्स में करूँगा। सबसे पहले आई स्टार्ट विद कैंसर क्या है, पहली बात करेंगे कैंसर क्या है, फिर बात करेंगे कैंसर क्यों होता है, तीसरी बात करेंगे कैंसर के कारण क्या क्या है, फोर्थ पे आएंगे क्या कैंसर को रोका जा सकता है और अगर हाँ तो किस किस तरीके से। देन विल talk about the what are the various methodology or various methods or tests where we can detect the cancer in the early stage. Then we'll discuss about the various things where if the cancer is diagnosed, then what is the process to go about. Then we'll come to the various kinds of treatment, its success rates, cost factors, and the various adverse effect or the side effect associated with the cancer treatment. So let's begin with the what is cancer. So we almost everybody knows during their school days they study there is a cell division things. So cells division होती है, एक सेल से दो सेल बनती है, then दो सेल से चार सेल्स बनती है और चार सेल से 8 सेल बनती है. We have also studied that during this procedure of cell division or the mitosis, there are few abnormal cells are generated. Like if the 4 cells are becoming 8, so out of 8 cells, the 7 cells are normal and 1 cell is abnormal. So in a normal human body, what happens that abnormal cell get destroyed and those normal 7 cells will further divide into 14 cells. And suppose out of those 14 cells, 4 cells are defective, then those 4 cells will be eliminated by the body. Then only 10 remaining normal and healthy cells will become the 20 cells. And so on the cell division will go on. But in cancer cell, because of the defects at the molecular levels, that means the defects in the genetic materials, these abnormal cells divide in an uncontrolled manner and they become like not 2 to 4, rather they will become from 2 to 20 and 20 to 200. So in multiple times they will increase. So basically it is an uncontrolled and abnormal cell division which causes the cancer. And why this happens? And because of this defects in genetic material. And anything, whether from internal or the external factors which causes this defect in the genetic material, they can lead to cancer. So cancer causing factors can be either internal from within our body or can be external from outside the body, which we call the environmental factor. So when we come to etiology or the causes of cancer, we divide the cancer causing factors into 2 categories. One is those factors which are under our control and those factors which are not under our control. What I mean to say about the control and non-control means those factors which can be modified and the factors which cannot be modified. So modifiable factors and non-modifiable factors. So as I told you, the internal factors like our genes that we cannot change. So if there is a defect in genes already which we inherit from the family, which is an uncontrolled factor. And if we are exposed to a particular environment which is a control factor, we can change our environment, we can shift ourselves to another place. So that is a controllable or modifiable factors. So almost 60 to 70% of the cases of cancer are because of modifiable or the controllable factors. And if we take proper precautions and all the actions and control all the factors which are under our control, that means 70% of the cancer can be prevented. For example, specifically in context of the India, where the most of the cases of the cancers are related to use of the tobacco. So if you control the tobacco in all the forms, so all the cancers related to this particular menace will go away. So overall incidence of the cancer will go down. A simple example is cancer of mouth and throat, where the 90% of the cases are related directly to tobacco. So if we stop using the tobacco altogether, so there will be 90% decrease in these cases. The second example is like in the females. Most common cancer in a female among the Indians is cervical cancer. And again 85 to 90% of the cervical cancers are related to particular infection known as HPV. So human papilloma virus infection. So if we control that particular infection, HPV vaccine, and which is simply controllable by giving the vaccine. So if we control this infection in general population, then cervical cancer will get decreased by almost 85 to 90% cases. So if I enumerate the controllable factors, like the environmental factor is use of the tobacco in any form, whether it is in the smoking form or the gutka form or different BD, cigarette. So depending on the geographical region, they use in different forms. Second controllable factor is the infections. So cancers which are related to infection are, one is cervical cancer, where the 85 to 90% of the cases are because of HPV infection. The other cancer which is related to infection is hepatocellular cancer, that is liver cancer, which is because of hepatitis B or hepatitis C infection leading to chronic liver disease, and that is predisposing factor for HCC or the liver cancer. Third cancer which is related to infection is H. pylori infection related gastric carcinoma, the cancer of the stomach. Fourth is HIV infection related cancers. There are various types of cancer which are related to HIV infections. This because of the low immunity in the cancer patients. These certain type of lymphomas, specifically non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Burkitt's lymphoma, they are related to. Then there is the EBV infection which predisposes to cancer. The third factor which can be controllable is our body weight, like obesity. Obesity is a controllable factor, and there are certain cancer like breast cancer, ovarian cancer, which are because of this obesity they are at. Okay, I'll come to questions later on. If you talk about the uncontrollable factors, is the inherent factors like hereditary factors. If there is a particular mutation in particular family, and which mutation that mutation predisposes to cancer, so this particular mutation is running into the family, you can't change. That factor will come from parents to children and children to their children. So this is an uncontrollable factor. And let me tell you that these factors plays a lesser role in the etiogenesis or carcinogenesis. Around 15 to 20% of all the cancers are hereditary. So in hereditary means the cancers or the factors running into the family. So there is a difference between the genetic and the hereditary. Sometimes people take both the terminology as the same. Genetic means anything to do with the genes, and hereditary means anything which is running into the family. So cancer is a genetic disease, but not necessarily every cancer is hereditary. Only 15 to 20% cases are hereditary, and every cancer is genetic. So defect in genes leads to cancer. Hope it is clear. Payal Thakur Chatterjee has asked that is immunity is related to cancer? It is very much related to cancer. If there is a low immunity, again Harish Rane has asked the same question. As it shows, sir, that immunity of the cancer patient is definitely, it's both the statements are true, that if there is low immunity, there are chances of cancer is high, and if there is a cancer, then immunity goes down, not only because of the cancer but also because of the treatment related. This cancer treatment also decreases the immunity of the body. So the question I started with is cancer preventable? Yes, around 50 to 70% of cancer can be prevented if we take proper precautions of keeping the risk factor away. Like if we stop smoking all over the world, if we stop gutka or any form of tobacco, then any cancer which is because of this factor will go away. If we take the proper precautions and vaccinate the people against the HPV vaccine, around 85% decrease in cervical cancer will be there. If we do the vaccination for the hepatitis, then the incidence of the hepatocellular carcinoma will go down. So if we take care of these preventable factors, then those cancers which are because of this preventable factor will go away. So the best is to prevent. So any thing, the prevention is better than the cure. So okay, the other factors which are related to or work lifestyle, or lifestyle, or addictions, or sleep pattern, or stress level. These all factors are again related to increased chances of cancer. If you are more stressful, if you are taking less sleep, they are also factors which predisposes to cancer. Then there are certain factors which are predisposing factor to a particular cancer. Like if you talk about the breast cancer, which is the second most cancer among Indian female, then hormonal factors are responsible for a certain proportion of the breast cancer. Like early menarche and late menopause. If the female's fertile period is longer, early menarche, that means अगर periods early age पे शुरू हो जाते हैं and late menopause और late age तक periods चलते रहते हैं, so total fertile period increase हो जाता है, that predisposes to more cancer. Then age is the again predisposing factor, and which is not under our control. So as the age increases, risk of cancer increases. Okay, Mr. Raghav has asked about the yoga practitioners and all these things. So we'll come to that also. Okay, use of gadgets will increase the cancer in future. Mr. Dr. Anupama has asked. Okay, we'll take that question also. So as I told you, the best thing is to prevent the cancer. And if we are not able to prevent the cancer, then what is the next best thing is detect the cancer in early stage. So what is the advantage of detecting the cancer early stage is, if we detect the cancer in early stage, then definitely we'll diagnose the cancer in a stage where treatment is feasible, treatment will be more effective, treatment will be less duration, treatment will be of low cost, and the result will be very good. So अगर कैंसर को हम अर्ली स्टेज में डायग्नोज कर देते हैं तो उसके काफ़ी सारे एडवांटेज है. Like I told you, since it is in early stage, so treatment effect wise it will be more effective, and the cost wise it will be less cost, and That's what we want. Then what are the methods to detect the cancer in early stage? So we use the terminology screening. If we do the screening, then we'll be able to diagnose the cancer in early stage. So what does screening terminology means? स्क्रीनिंग का सिंपल मीनिंग ये होता है कि उन लोगों में कैंसर का डायग्नोसिस, या स्क्रीनिंग इज नॉट पर्टिकुलरली रिलेटेड टू कैंसर, इट इज फॉर एनी डिजीज. सो स्क्रीनिंग इज द set of tests to apply in a general population which are asymptomatic, which doesn't have any symptoms, to find out the disease in very early stage. So कुछ टेस्ट उन लोगों में करना जिन लोगों को कोई भी तकलीफ नहीं है, और उन टेस्ट का मकसद है कि एसिम्टोमेटिक लोगों में बीमारी का, उसको स्क्रीनिंग कहते हैं. तो कैंसर के बारे में स्क्रीनिंग एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे अगर बोलेंगे, if we talk the most common cancer, cervical cancer or the breast cancer in female, there is screening method available. Like for the breast cancer, we advise simple mammography after the age of 40 years. Any lady who has attained 40 years of age, we advise to undergo mammography every year. And what the mammography is? Mammography is basically X-rays of the breast. It is a simple X-ray of the both the breast. We see there are certain patterns, and depending on the finding, we can suspect whether the cancer is there or not. If we suspect the cancer, we'll do the more test to confirm the diagnosis. So after 40 years in breast cancer, we recommend mammography every yearly, and it has been found that if the females do the screening after 40 years, the breast cancer can be diagnosed 3 to 5 years earlier on an average. And if you diagnose early cancer, then it means you will be able to diagnose the cancer in early stage. And what are the advantages of early stage diagnosis? We have already discussed. Okay, Meenakshi has asked how to detect the cancer symptom. Thank you, Meenakshi, for asking the question. We will come to this also. Shri Devi Suresh says asked, okay, stage 2 oral cancer is curable? Yes, it is very much curable. And what are the options of the treatment, and what is the percentage of the cure rate? We'll come to that also. Dr. Anupama asked, can yoga prevent the cancer? So this is a very good question. We'll come to that question also. So I was discussing about the screening method. Similarly, for the chest, that is lung cancer, so screening method is low dose CT scan. Where the CT scan, low dose means radiation exposure is very less. So those patients who are at high risk, like attain the 50 year of age with a significant significant personal history of smoking, we do the screening. We recommend the screening by the CT scan, low dose CT scan of the chest. For the prostate cancer, PSA is the screening method, every 5 yearly PSA. For the colon cancer screening, जो बड़ी आंत का कैंसर है, तो उसके स्क्रीनिंग के लिए we recommend the colonoscopy after age of 55 years. If we are doing the rigid colonoscopy, then every 5 yearly. So Meenakshi Sani asked, if we are healthy and go for a mammography, hope no bad effect of the mammography. Okay, that's again a very good question. Yeah, Meenakshi, this is for the healthy people only. The screening method is applied for only healthy people, not for the any person or the patient who are symptomatic. It's for the normal public which are asymptomatic. And the aim of the screening, when we recommend a test for the screening purposes, that we make ensure that this test doesn't poses any risk to the population. So mammography doesn't have any side effect, that doesn't exposes people to the radiation in a dose where that can be harmful. So it's a very safe. Mammography is safe procedure, and it has to be done every year after 40 years of age. So again, question from the Meenakshi is, any relation of thyroid and the throat cancer? No. it's a blank. No, there is no relation. Then coming back to the screening. So for the colon, it's a colonoscopy. Prostate for screening, it is a serum PSA and digital rectal examination and so on. So basic aim of screening is to diagnose the cancer in the early stage, where treatment options are available, treatment is feasible, treatment is of shorter duration, and cost of the treatment is less with a good results. Okay, and now coming to the next topic. So first was, is cancer preventable? So best is to prevent the cancer. Second, if we are not able to prevent the cancer, then let's diagnose in a very early stage. Third, if we are not able to even diagnose the cancer in very early stage, then what happens if when the cancer is diagnosed? What is the approach of a oncologist towards the patient who has been now suspected to have a cancer? Okay, so again the question from Dr. Anupam, please suggest yoga for all to prevent cancer. Okay, I'll take that question first, I think. So yoga, let me clarify that since I am from the allopathy branch, so I know about my branch, and yoga I am not very aware. I have not done any graduation or post-graduation or education in this. But having said that, we do, everybody have some knowledge of the yoga and pranayam, and these are the very, very good habits to prevent not only the cancer, but there are multiple health benefits of this yoga and pranayam. So we must follow these precautions and must do the yoga, not to prevent only the cancer, but there are multiple other benefits of the yoga and the pranayam. And but one thing that I want to make sure, because of this commercialization of yoga, people have advocated yoga of various forms to treat the various kind of the ailments, various kind of diseases. And let me clarify, as per my knowledge, yoga and pranayam, they are the way of living. योगा जीवन जीने का एक तरीका है, हमारे जीवन का एक अभिन्न अंग होना चाहिए योगा एंड द फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, और उसका मेन मकसद ये होना चाहिए कि हमारा शरीर स्वस्थ रहे, हमारे बॉडी की इम्यूनिटी मेंटेन रहे और हमें कोई बीमारी ना हो। और अगर किसी वजह से बीमारी हो भी जाए तो योगा और प्राणायाम से इम्यूनिटी इतनी ज़्यादा रहती है कि उस बीमारी का ट्रीटमेंट अच्छे से असर करे और अच्छे से रिजल्ट है। As far as my knowledge goes, yoga is not a treatment modality. It's not a treatment. If any disease has happened, like diabetes or for that matter any cancer, and we are doing the yoga to treat the cancer, I don't think the yoga in that scenario will work. You can take the treatment of particular disease and simultaneously you can do the yoga so that the treatment can be more effective. But you totally rely on the yoga to treat any ailment and you hope that with yoga only the disease will go. I don't agree. Sorry for interruption. Okay, so there is a nice suggestion from the Pallavi. Though, can we take the questions at the end of the talk? So I was discussing what happens when the suspected case come to a doctor. So we discussed about the etiology, the causes of the cancer, then the various way to prevent the cancer, then the various way of the screening to detect the cancer early. Then now we'll discuss too, if there is a cancer suspect case, then a doctor or a cancer specialist, what are the protocols, how he goes about the investigation, what are the various investigations, and what are the various treatment. So there is the only one investigation to diagnose the cancer, and that is the biopsy. And there are various kind of the myths going around about the biopsy. And सबसे बड़ा मिथ ये है कि लोगों को बायोप्सी से डर लगता है और सबको ये लगता है कि अगर कैंसर को छेड़छाड़ किया जाए, कैंसर की बायोप्सी की जाए, तो वो कैंसर तेजी से फैल जाता है। और इसी डर की वजह से कुछ लोग डॉक्टर तक पहुंचते नहीं हैं, और कुछ लोग जो डॉक्टर तक पहुंचते हैं और बायोप्सी का नाम सुन के वो फिर से भाग जाते हैं, क्योंकि उनके मन में बहुत बड़ा डर रहता है कि शायद अगर कैंसर को अंदर सुई डाल दी और बायोप्सी कर दी तो वो कैंसर बहुत तेजी से फैलने लग जाएगा और फिर ठीक नहीं होगा। और वी डू see such patients on almost on daily basis. People are very adamant to undergo the biopsy because they have very firm belief that if the biopsy is attempted, then the disease will progress very fast. And they claim that they have seen such kind of patients where the biopsy was done and it has rapidly progressed. So we don't want to biopsy our patient's tumor, and if you are able to treat without biopsy, then we are ready to treatment. So let me clarify here that biopsy doesn't increase the speed of the spread, or it doesn't worsen the prognosis. In either way, the biopsy is very safe procedure. As far as the progression of the disease or the spread of the disease, biopsy doesn't play any role. So I'll repeat once again, the biopsy is safe as far as the spread of disease is concerned. It doesn't increase the speed of the disease. It doesn't worsen the prognosis of the disease. So biopsy has to be done, because without biopsy there is no other method in this world where cancer can be confirmed. So as of today, biopsy is very much required to diagnose the cancer. So first and foremost thing is to diagnose a cancer case. So whenever a patient comes to us, we first do the biopsy to confirm whether it is cancer or not cancer. If it's not a cancer, then forget about the things. If it is a cancer, then first confirm. Now, okay, the biopsy's report came and it says, okay, it is a cancer. Then second most important is to the staging workup to find out what is the stage of the disease. And 4, convenience of the treatment and uniformity of the treatment across the globe. We have designed a staging system. कैंसर किसी भी स्टेज में नहीं आता कि ये कैंसर 3 स्टेज का है, 4 स्टेज का है. ये रिसर्चर्स एंड क्लिनिशियंस से मिलकर एक स्टेजिंग सिस्टम तैयार करा है ताकि हम अक्रॉस द ग्लोब यूनिफॉर्म ट्रीटमेंट अप्लाई किया जाए कि अगर हिंदुस्तान में स्टेज 1 का जो ट्रीटमेंट हो रहा है वही स्टेज 1 का ट्रीटमेंट दूसरे देश में भी हो. या डॉक्टर आर.के. चौधरी स्टेज 2 का जो ट्रीटमेंट करे, डॉक्टर शर्मा भी स्टेज 2 का ट्रीटमेंट सेम ही करे. So then we carry out certain investigation, especially CT scan, MRI या whole body PET CT to find out the stage of the disease. And basically stage का मतलब ये होता है how much is the spread of the disease, बीमारी का फैलाव कितना है, उससे हमें पता चल जाएगा कि स्टेज क्या है. Okay. So once we do the staging, we classify whether it is a stage 1 disease, stage 2 disease, stage 3 disease and stage 4 disease. And as the disease increases in size, the stage increases. So stage 1 is the earliest stage, stage 4 is the most advanced. So there is no last stage, 1 2 3 4 है बस. So last stage की कोई बात नहीं करनी. And as the stage goes up, the results goes down. Hi Diksha, good evening. Okay, let me read out the questions that we will be able to discuss the questions also. So once we are with the stage also, so a diagnosis has made, the staging has been done, then we come to the treatment part. So there are 3 modalities of cancer treatment. One is the surgical modality where the operation has been done. Then is the radiation where the radiotherapy is done by the machines. Then medical part, that's the chemotherapy part, where the injections of anti-cancer medicine is given to the patient. So let me clarify about the chemotherapy in the detail, because I am the medical oncologist and I am the chemotherapy expert. So in the chemotherapy, what we do, we treat the patient by the medicine, that is the anti-cancer medicine. So chemotherapy is a very simple procedure. Hello Dinesh Bhaiya, welcome to the session. Thank you. Thank you Megha Chauhan. So it is a treatment with the anti-cancer medicine is chemotherapy, and there is no special thing. As we treat the infection with the antibiotics, similarly we treat the cancer with the anti-cancer treatment, that is the chemotherapy. So एंटीबैक्टीरियल मेडिसिन को एंटीबायोटिक बोल दिया, उसी तरीके से एंटी कैंसर को कीमोथेरेपी बोल दिया. कई बार लोगों के दिमाग में ये होता है कि कीमोथेरेपी से जलाया जाता है या दर्द होता है. ऐसा नहीं होता. कीमोथेरेपी का सिंपल मीनिंग है एंटी कैंसर ट्रीटमेंट, एंटी कैंसर मेडिसिन से ट्रीटमेंट, और उसको भी उसी तरीके से दिया जाता है जिस तरीके से बाकी मेडिसिन दी जाती है. उस मेडिसिन को या तो हम टैबलेट से दे देते हैं. सो कीमोथेरेपी कैन बी in the tablet form, where it is given in the, it has to be taken by the mouth, or it can be injection which can be given directly into the skin, or it can be directly given to the muscle, or it can be given by the IV by mixing into the glucose bottle. So there are various routes of giving the medicine in the setting of chemotherapy also. Yes, it is different from the other medication in the sense, because since these medications are for the treatment of the cancer, which is a danger disease, so these medicines are slightly or stronger than the normal medication. They are not as mild as the antibiotic, they are more stronger, so they has to be given in a particular schedule. So suppose if we want to treat an infection with antibiotic, then we'll treat on a daily basis. So today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And if you want to treat the cancer with the chemotherapy, we can't do this. If you want planning for the 6th cycle, we'll give a gap in between the cycle, like every weekly or after 2 weekly or 3 weekly. And this gap in between 2 cycles is to for normal body cell to heal, get repaired. So File Thakur asks, is there any long-term side effect of the chemotherapy? Please give a word on selective target treatment. Okay, we'll come to that also. So chemotherapy का मतलब जैसे मैंने बताया, it is anti-cancer medicines. Now coming to various type of chemotherapy. So it can be cytotoxic chemotherapy, जहाँ पे the cell will go into the body, it will kill everything which comes into their way, whether it is a cancer cell or the non-cancer cell. So this non-cancer cell or the normal cancer cell, when they are killed by the cancer, they causes the side effect. And those cells which grows faster, they'll get killed fast. Like our hair cells. बाल हमारे जल्दी जल्दी बढ़ जाते, तो they are the cells which grows fast. So they are the most affected cells. So अगर आपने देखा हो कि ज़्यादातर कीमोथेरेपी में हेयर लॉस हो जाते हैं. Then there is the mucositis, oral ulcerations, मुंह में छाले बन जाते हैं. That is again because of this mucosa turnover is very fast. Nails जल्दी बढ़ जाते हैं. So there are side effects on the nails also. There are certain intracyclic medications which causes darkening of the nails. Then there are other type of chemotherapy where we call targeted therapies. So what targeted therapy does, they identify a certain marker on the cancer cell, and they'll go into the body, they'll find out that marker on particular cells, and they'll kill that only those targeted or those cancer cells, and they'll spare the remaining normal cells. So they are more selective. अगर मैं आपको एक सिंपल वे में समझाऊं, कीमोथेरेपी एंड टारगेट थेरेपी जो होती है उनमें कितने तरीके का फ़र्क है. सपोज आपके गली में या घर के बाहर में बहुत सारी भीड़ है और शोर मचा रही है, आपने किसी को एक डंडा दे दिया और बोलो कि इस भीड़ को थोड़ा मार के आओ. सो आपने डंडा लिया और सबको मार दिया और भीड़ खत्म होगी। सो दैट्स ए कीमोथेरेपी। आपने सारों को कर दिया। उसमें कुछ लोग थे जो बदमाशी कर रहे और कुछ लोग नहीं बदमाशी कर रहे थे, दोनों को आपने मार दिया। टारगेटेड थेरेपी में क्या होगा, यू विल आस्क द थेरेपी के जो बदमाशी कर रहे या जिन लोगों ने लाल शर्ट या लाल टी शर्ट पहनी, आप उनको मार दो क्योंकि वही बदमाशी कर रहे। सो दैट विल गो एंड लाल लाल कपड़ों वालों को ही मारेंगे। दैट बिकम्स द टारगेटेड, कि आपने सिर्फ उन लोगों को टच किया जो वास्तव में शोर कर रहे थे। सो टारगेट थेरेपी विल सेलेक्ट ए मार्कर, आइडेंटिफाई ए मार्कर ऑन द कैंसर सेल and they'll kill the cancer cell only. So normal cell will be spared. And there comes the immunotherapy. Immunotherapy doesn't kill either cancer cell or the normal cell. Immunotherapy creates a system where it is difficult for the cancer cell to survive. So they'll automatically get destroyed. इसको मैं इस तरीके से एग्जाम्पल बता सकते हैं कि सपोज देर आर ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल और ग्रुप ऑफ टेररिस्ट और दे आर्मी और दुश्मन किसी की भी आर्मी आप ले लो जो है, तो इम्यूनोथेरेपी क्या करती है कि उनका राशन पानी बंद कर देती है। वो किस तरीके से बाउंड्री बना देगी कि उनके वहाँ पे खाना पानी पहुँचेगा नहीं, उनको जाके खुद नहीं मारेगी। सो खाना पानी नहीं जाएगा तो धीरे 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 करके वो कमजोर पड़ते जाएंगे। सो इन इम्यूनोथेरेपी दे आर लेसर इफेक्टिव देन द कैंसर सेल इन द सेंस दे डिक्रीज द साइज ऑफ द ट्यूमर इन लेस क्वांटिटी एज कंपेयर टू कीमोथेरेपी, एक्सक्यूज मी, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट डायरेक्टली किलिंग द सेल्स और दे आर प्रिवेंटिंग देयर ग्रोथ, सो दे विल मेक देम वीकर. But there will be sustained effect, longer duration of effect, and since they are affecting this milieu or the surrounding of the cancer cell, they are again want to be affect the normal cells. So normal chemotherapy के जो side effect देखने को मिलते हैं वो immunotherapy में नहीं मिलते हैं. So broadly anything in the medicinal form is called the chemotherapy, whether it is a cytotoxic chemotherapy or the targeted therapy or biologic therapy or oral chemotherapy or the immunotherapy, right? And these therapies are selected based on the type of the cancer and the stage of the cancer. Then there are general patient's age and patient general condition, his or her comorbidity, whether what are the other diseases from he or she is suffering. Depending on the various factors, then we decide the that particular type of medicine, which medication has to be given. Okay, then coming to the various side effects of the cancer, then the various type of various results with the cancer treatment. So yes, I do agree that there are certain type of side effect with the cancer chemotherapy, which I have already discussed or explained. Since these medicines are to treat the cancer, which is not a simple disease, so definitely the side effect will not be simple as because of the antacid or the analgesic or antibiotic. They will be different. So certain side effects are, we divide the side effects into two categories. One is the short-term side effects and one is the long-term side effects. So short-term, intermediate and the long-term. So short-term side effect में सबसे ज़्यादा जरूरी side effect है कि जब हम कीमोथेरेपी दे रहे होते हैं, then उस drug से कोई immediately reaction तो नहीं हो सकती. So that is a short-term side effect. While infusing the chemotherapy, if anything happens immediately, that is a short-term. Most of the time, there are certain type of medication which causes the reactions. So we need to give the pre-medication before giving the chemotherapy. So pre-medicate the patient so that this chemotherapy doesn't cause the reactions to the patient. And there are certain medications which causes lesser chances of reaction, and there are certain medications which causes very high chances of the reactions. So depending on the risk of that particular medicine, the oncologist will decide what pre-medication has to be given in that particular patient. Then there are intermediate side effects like hair loss, mucositis, decrease in the hemoglobin, decrease in the white cell, where because the neutropenia, decrease in the platelets. So with the time, like 2 or 3 weeks, this will recover. So hair loss and this mucositis, once that effect of the medicines goes, they'll come back, they'll become normal. So on an average अगर हेयर लॉस की बात करें 3 to 4 मंथ लग जाते हैं कीमोथेरेपी फिनिश होने के बाद में फिर से बाल आने का, और ऑलमोस्ट सब लोगों में लगभग नॉर्मल बाल आ जाते हैं, वैसे ही आ जाते हैं जैसे कि पहले आते. नाउ पीपल ऑलवेज आस्क मी बाल तो नहीं झड़ जाएंगे. Listen, when we treat the cancer patient, the most important thing is to save the life. We are treating the blood cancer patient. So but cancer disease is very nonsense disease. So अगर उस ट्रीट करने में हमें अगर कुछ ऐसे साइड इफेक्ट झेलने पड़े जो रिवर्सिबल है, then I think that this side effect should be the acceptable. Okay, then कमिंग टू द इफेक्ट, किसी ने सवाल भी पूछा था कि क्या कैंसर के ट्रीटमेंट सक्सेसफुल है कि नहीं है, क्या लोग ठीक हो जाते हैं, क्या उनको ज़िंदगी भर कीमोथेरेपी लेनी पड़ती है. कुछ लोगों ने ये भी पूछा था कि किसी को अगर हमने कीमोथेरेपी शुरू कर दी है तो क्या उसको ज़िंदगी भर कीमोथेरेपी लेनी ही पड़ेगी, नहीं तो जैसे बंद होती बीमारी वापस आ जाएगी. दैट डिपेंड्स ऑन इन विच स्टेज ऑफ द कैंसर वी हैव स्टार्टेड द ट्रीटमेंट. इफ देर इज अर्ली स्टेज ऑफ डिसीज, there is a finite or the defined treatment protocols, like in the breast cancer, if there is, we talk about the stage 1, 2 or early 3, then what we'll do the one type of treatment with the surgery or the chemotherapy, then we'll shift to next type of treatment. Okay, surgery होगी तो उसके बाद chemotherapy, then radiotherapy, then treatment is finished. If it is hormone positive, then definitely hormone therapy, otherwise कोई hormone therapy की जरूरत नहीं होती और वो ट्रीटमेंट पूरा हो जाता है. लेकिन अगर मेटास्टेटिक डिजीज है, लाइक 4th स्टेज है, तो डेफिनेटली उनका ट्रीटमेंट कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है. सो देन अगेन वी कम टू द फर्स्ट डिस्कशन दैट अर्ली स्टेज डायग्नोसिस की बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस है. इफ डायग्नोसिस इज मेड इन द अर्ली स्टेज, देन ट्रीटमेंट रिजल्ट्स आर वेरी गुड एंड ट्रीटमेंट इज ऑफ लिमिटेड पीरियड. एंड लास्ट अगर 15-20 ईयर्स में बात करेंगे तो कैंसर का ट्रीटमेंट बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्प्रूवमेंट आया है. जहाँ कुछ कैंसर्स में पहले ट्रीटमेंट नहीं होता था, वहाँ भी ट्रीटमेंट अवेलेबल हो गया. जहाँ पे था उन्हें बहुत सारे नए नए मेडिसिन भी ऐड हुए. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द ब्रेस्ट कैंसर, विच इज़ वन ऑफ द मोस्ट कॉमन कैंसर अमंग द फीमेल्स इन द वर्ल्ड एज इन द इंडिया. So there are multiple treatment options for the breast cancer, especially if we talk about the metastatic. Even in stage 4 disease, if the patient is hormone positive, then chances of survival is very high. People survive for 5, 6 or 10 years even in stage 4, and which is has made possible because of newer modality of the treatment. Okay. Shad, we'll take the questions. Let me check. So already we are touching the 52-53 minutes have done. So we'll quickly, I'll take up the questions. So now you can all who are right now connected, so they can ask your questions. We'll discuss the question one by one. I'll take the older questions also. So any specific question, if I feel that this is something different which I have not covered, will come to that question also. So we will discuss about the prevention of cancer, role of yoga and pranayama. We have already discussed various type of treatment options for the cancer. We have discussed. Okay, Arshilan Murtaza has asked, will angiogenesis controlled by immunotherapy? No. Angiogenesis is not controlled directly by the immunotherapy. There are certain class of drugs which are called as anti-angiogenesis drugs, which are used to control the angiogenesis. Angiogenesis plays a role in the progression of the disease, and if we stop the angiogenesis, the progression of disease will be halted, and that is done by one class of drugs which we call anti-VEGF or anti-angiogenesis drugs. Okay, so Yogita has asked how armpit lumps should be treated. how they get formed. So Yogita, first we need to see the physically examine that armpit lump. What kind of lump is that? Whether it is suspicious lump or it is a simple lump. If we feel that it's a simple, we don't need to treat any those lumps. They'll come and they'll go. If we feel that they are because of lymph node and it is a hard lymph node, then we need to investigate them further, preferably by either ultrasound, and if required, then by FNAC or the biopsy. Sridevi has asked how to find the symptom in the early stage. Okay, very good. This we totally missed in our session. Okay, what are the sign and symptom of the early stage cancer? So if we talk about the head to toe, then there are certain sign and symptom where we can be make ourselves aware. So if we talk about the brain tumors, then the people will have the headache, vomiting and dizziness. Especially the brain cancers are in the middle age, like 30s and 40s में होते हैं, और उनमें अगर continuous headache होता है और headache के साथ vomiting होती है, तो we need to investigate them to find out whether it is he or she is suffering for brain cancer or not. And let me clarify, when I am telling about these are the symptoms of cancer, doesn't mean if these symptoms happen to anybody that is because of cancer. There are multiple other factors which causes headache and the vomiting. First we need to rule out those factors, then only to investigate for the cancer. Coming lower down to the throat, mouth and the neck cancers, then there will be the early symptom will be non-healing ulcer in the mouth, or swelling in the neck, or change in the voice, or difficulty in degglutination, difficulty in taking the water inside, or difficulty in taking the food inside, or it is a odynophagia. That means painful degglutination. When we take the food inside, there is a pain. So these are the symptoms, common symptoms of the throat cancer or the mouth cancer or tongue cancer or the neck cancer. Going downwards, if we talk about the esophagus, which is called as the food pipe which connects our mouth to the stomach, if anything happens there, anything cancerous happens to this food pipe, there will be difficulty in swallowing the things. It will start from the difficulty swallowing the solid food, then semi-solid food, and then difficulty in drinking the water. So पहले रोटी खाना थोड़ी दिक्कत होती है, then चावल खाने में दिक्कत होगी, then पानी खाने में दिक्कत होगी. We call it as a dysphagia. Then coming to the breast. So breast cancer का जो most common symptom है, which is a lump, which is hard lump, tight lump होता है, थोड़ा palpate करने में दर्द नहीं होता है, और sometimes वो lump फट जाता है, अल्सर भी बन जाता है. And if delays happen, then there will be a lump in the axilla also, lymph node भी होगा, and that is sign of progression to the axilla. Then coming down to colon cancer, जो आंत का कैंसर होता है, there are few signs like altered in the bowel habits. There is a loose motions, then there is a diarrhea. The diarrhea and the constipation. Diarrhea and constipation, this get alternate. If there is a blood in the stool, if there is a pain in the abdomen, there is a decrease in appetite, decrease in the weight, they are the common symptoms of the colon cancer. Coming further down, kidney, there is a symptom is blood in the urine. Again, these symptoms can be because of multiple other problems. So if anybody among the audiences or anybody among you are known to having this symptom, doesn't mean that he or she is suffering from cancer. Please rule out the other common causes which also causes the similar symptoms. Then the prostate cancer, there is a difficulty in the passing the urine, delay in the initiating the urination, there is a nocturia, there is a decreased ability to control the urine. These are the common symptoms from which this prostate cancer patients suffer. Okay, is there a link between PCOD and the cancer? Yes, there is a link. This ovarian cancer risk increases in PCOD patients. Please share your WhatsApp number. Okay, how to share? I don't know. let me check if I can get a number. I think this will be okay. Menopause before 50 and cancer, is there any relation? Meenakshi has asked. So early menopause doesn't possess any increased risk for the any kind of the cancer. So if any more questions, then we can discuss the questions. Otherwise, we'll say bye bye to everybody. Okay. From the page itself, there is a question and which is very long. Okay, I'll read the questions for all of you. So Maither having cyst in her breast from last 15. Okay. So any lump in the breast cancer for 15 to 16 years is not a cancer. So no investigation is required, but she is surrounded by more illness. 4-5 months back she bleed from nipple and sometimes whitish discharge. Okay, so discharge from the nipple is not a simple thing. It has to be investigated, but cyst for 15 years need not investigation are not required. So she should undergo the breast mammography, and if breast mammography is normal, then she should go for the MRI of the breast cancer, MRI of the breast, and she should consult a nearby oncologist. There are multiple things. So she must visit the nearest oncologist so that he or she can get the right directions. Okay, Harish, what is dendritic cell therapy? Okay, that's a very good question. Dendritic cell therapy में क्या करते? They take out the sample from a cancer patient and they grow this cancer cell into the lab. They generate the antibodies against these cells. Then the antibodies are collected and they are infused into the body with the hope that these antibodies will kill the cancer in your body. This is good therapy, sounds very good, but this is very, very in incipient stage, and most of the authorities has not approved this therapy because there is no control trial to prove its effectiveness, and this therapy is effective in stage 4 diseases to prolong the disease. Where the curative therapy is available, dendritic therapy has no role as of now, but in the future dendritic therapy should be widely used. So another question is, my elder sister had breast cancer, both underwent treatment, and okay, both the elder sisters has the breast cancer and they took the treatment. What are the chances of me getting it, and will it be the same or different? Okay, if your first degree relative, that is mother or the sisters, are having the breast cancer, since as I told you there are 15 to 20% chances of hereditary breast cancer, so they must consult a physician to find out whether this cancer in our females was related to hereditary or it is environmental. If it is a hereditary breast cancer, and that can be found by the simple blood test by doing a BRCA, BRCA mutation test. If it is a BRCA mutation test is positive, then it is a hereditary breast cancer, and the risk of having breast cancer in you is very, very high. So you must consult. If the two of your sisters are having the breast cancer, especially at the young age, then there are more chances that this cancer is hereditary, and you do have the increased risk of the breast cancer. So you must ask your sister to undergo BRCA testing. Question number 3, where it is okay. So my mother is 49-year-old from 4th stage ovarian cancer, which was lately diagnosed after several weeks after radiotherapy, Venice. Okay, so okay, I'll suggest, because since this is already diagnosed case of ovarian cancer stage 4 and undergone the treatment, so preferably I think one-to-one discussion will be better in this particular scenario rather than discussing in the public forum, because the privacy is also there. So you can contact directly me to WhatsApp. You can send share the reports on the WhatsApp. Then I'll discuss them separately. So Paila asks, yoga and pranayam can prevent recurrences? Oh yes, this is a very good question, and I must suggest that yoga and pranayam, if somebody has get cured from the cancer, then they must follow this strict dietary restrictions and dietary follow-up and yoga and pranayam to prevent the further recurrences. So question number 4, they have written the number also. So I am having a small knot in the right underarm since last 5 years, and so this is not a cancer. Okay, any lump for 5 years, this is not cancer, but still you can. How can I remove the knot? You need to consult a surgical surgeon, nearby surgeon. From where are you? Just consult a nearby general surgeon. He or she will be able to take it out. Okay, I feel burning sensation in my left breast area. Sometimes the sensation is more in days. And okay, burning sensation in breast cancer in breast is not a sign of the cancer. So you must consult a nearby physician, your local physician, preferably gynecologist or a general physician. There is no need to discuss it to oncologist. Okay, so another question is, if husband died due to pelvic bone cancer, then does it affect to the child and the wife, as cancer was there before marriage? Okay, wife definitely no. Child, we need to find out whether this pelvic bone cancer was hereditary or it was because of environmental. If it is hereditary, then definitely there are chances of increased risk in the children's. If it is a family, then no. Okay, Minaxius ask any feedback link, please. So I'll request the organizers. So please listen to Minakshi. Is there any feedback link? Okay, thank you, Sridevi, Girish, and everybody who has posted the kind words. So again, before signing off, I'll reintroduce myself. I'm Dr. R.K. Chaudhary. I'm oncologist. I'm associated with Metro Group of Hospitals, which are primarily in the Delhi and Noida. In Delhi, it is in the Preet Vihar. And I'm very much available on the WhatsApp and Google. If you type Dr. R.K. Chaudhary, you will find any information about me. And if you watching this page or following this page, you can contact this page admins also for any information. And I've already shared my WhatsApp number in the comment box, so you can contact directly also. And thank you all for be with me and attending the session. And please take care of yourself, good care, and especially in this COVID situation, please follow all the health regulatories, whatever government is saying. Please keep yourself safe, your family safe, and thank you so much. So we'll close the session. Bye bye, take care, and see you in the next session.